salsa. Tequila and salsa. Sorry.
I feel like anything that you mix tequila with is just tequila.
It pierces through. It's good. So, I go to the Orioles game with Alan and his wife and his brother and his brother's wife and a handful of other friends on Saturday night. 405, was it 405 or 425? One of those.
Yeah, 405, I think. But
405. Great game. Orioles come back. Holiday saves the day. The place goes ape shit. Everyone's walking out. We're hooting and hollering. Grand occasion. We go back to Alan's. We drink. We watch some WrestleMania. We're enjoying ourselves. We get some burritos delivered. And probably around like 10 o'clock, I just hit a wall. Now, granted, this was my week plus vacation bender. That this was the last day of it, and I was like, oh man, I gotta get home. And I knew I wanted to go to 7-Eleven and grab a few munchies before I called an Uber home. And Alan,
This is after the delivery burritos.
It was, yeah. I needed something sweet. I needed some trail mix, a la Chex and Reese's Pieces.
yeah.
So Alan gives me the directions. It wasn't I didn't know how to get to the elevator. It was just a matter of like getting out to the street. And I drunkenly made a couple wrong turns and kind of did one of these parading around. I got out of the building. I also noticed 2 cameras. And in my own paranoid brain, I thought all I could hear was Robert Stack going, and this is the last known footage of Wesley that exists. It's me drunk, like, oh, wait a minute. This way? And then me out of frame, back in frame, me looking around a little bit more. God, bad moment. Not my favorite.
He made a few wrong turns, but his last one was the most wrong.
That's accurate.
Emilio Escobar, recently released from a maximum security prison, was making his way up to a condo to kill his ex-girlfriend when he ran into a young Wesley Fox. Halfway through his vacation of 2 weeks on his final bender, the only thing that didn't bend was his neck.
Nice.
Last debit card receipt shows a purchase.
Yeah, it's confusing in here.
2 Go-Go Taquitos, Chex Mix, Reese's Pieces, and a donut.
Pretty much.
Wow, that's amazing. That's the unsolved mystery. How'd you fucking get all that shit down in your gut?
Oh boy, I didn't. There was a remnant of the donut. I think I took one bite of it. It was like, oh. I texted Sarah about 10, said, if you had plans of going out tonight, she went to a concert. I said, it's not happening. You can go out, by all means. Enjoy your evening. Go out with your friends. Do what you need to do. But I will not be joining you at 10 p.m. on a Saturday. Whew. God, getting old.
Yeah.
Getting fucking old.
Got pretty sauced up, too. Daytime sauced up at the O's game. Can't beat it. Good times.
Well, me, I got sauced up on my couch, and I played me some 1984's finest golf game ever presented, known as Golf. On this Nintendo Entertainment System. And I sent you guys that video, and I hit that fucking hole in one, and I think it's taken me 40 years to accomplish that feat. Nailed it.
Nice.
I didn't know that was you. I thought that was just some savant, like the wizard from the late 80s, that Fred Savage's was his little brother or nephew or something like that.
No, it was like the bad kid that was like the cool kid with like the skater haircut that flipped down over his one eye. And he had the power glove, and he was kicking people's asses on like Rad Racer and all that shit.
Right.
And then, but no, that's me. The Nintendo Switch allows you to get on allows you access to all your old games. And I was just like, let me see how terrible this golf game is. I gotta tell you something. I think the early 2000s Tiger Woods games and this 1984 classic known as Golf are probably the best golf games ever made. Because this golf game on Nintendo, there is no room for error. You decide based on the wind and your club distance and all that jazz. That's it. There's no forgiveness. The out of bounds, you're fucked. The bunker, you're fucked. The water, you're fucked. And just good luck. It's all golf. I mean, there's no graphics to be, of any kind. But I just remember finally dialing in Tiger Woods when you could just, like, read the wind like you were fucking Matt Damon and Bagger Vance. Just like, oh. And you just got this, like, boner and you're fucking, it's like, all I got to do is rotate this fucking stick 1 billion miles an hour, and I'm gonna make it.
Yeah. I do remember this game. I had to look it up.
Golf.
Yeah, golf.
Wouldn't it be funny though?
It was a classic.
If you were to go back and our debate amongst friends like ourselves, your favorite golf game of all time, golf. Yeah, I know, but which one? Golf. So, I know what you're talking about. That's from the same. It's like from this. Wasn't there like a hockey? It wasn't Blades of Steel.
I think so. Yeah, there was like a standard hockey game, but you had I think there was only 3-on-3, and there was like a fat guy, a skinny guy, and then like a Mario character. And you know the fat guy was slow as shit, but he could just literally put the skinny guy in like another dimension. It was just how the game was, yeah. And then like the skinny guy was like Wayne Gretzky, so he's super fast. He had a good shot. Yeah, it's just basic. It was just basics. And a lot of times, just getting back to basics is the best alternative to everything. It's a mindless game, and it's hard. And my best score so far has been like a -3.
3 under.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Good round. Yeah.
Solid round.
There's a very underrated computer game, PGA Tour 97. You should look this up. I used to sneak out my senior year of high school, pick a friend of ours up, and go over to another friend's house named Rames Joland, and we would enjoy our youth. Good old Rames, yeah. Parents are odd, hippies. Enjoy our youth, indulging in certain things, and the thing of it was you tap the mouse to get it to go to power, and then you tap it again to this is how much power I want to use. Then it would whip back down to the bottom of the circle, and you had to tap it again for accuracy. But if you maxed out on power, the faster that bar went down for accuracy. So you kind of had to, you had to dial it in a little bit. His mom, who was co-owner of the family business, who did most of the stuff in this office that we used to occupy at the wee hours, changed to a much more suitable business savvy mouse. Had all the bells and whistles and gadgets and things that a business owner could use to profit and maximize their level of effort, and possibly make more money and be more productive. Problem was that the clicker stuck, so we had Jimmy tell his mom, you got to go back to that old mouse. This thing sucks. You got to go back to the old one. This thing sticks.
Thing's gonna give you carpal tunnel.
Yeah,
you don't want that. Get that out of here.
Has nothing to do with Wes playing as Craig Stadler in PGA Tour 97. It's all about the sticking. Middle class holes, everyone. Murr, Alan, and Fox, man. Thank you. And Alan, welcome back, man. How was what were you doing down in Ocean City? Selling shit?
There's a conference for the Maryland Association of Counties, and it got away from me a little bit. Just a little bit. No, it was a lot of fun. It was apparently the county officials like to do some drinking.
You think so? I can't imagine.
Yeah.
Taxpayer funded everything. Yeah. Did was Cecil County there? Huh?
I think they were actually.
Nice.
Everybody. It was all like the community colleges and the school boards and just officials looking to get greased. You know what I mean? With some sweet moolah and some free scallop dinners and plenty of grapefruit crushes. You know what I mean? And, in exchange, may or may not be some business.
Nice. Okay. All right. So, obviously there's a lot of sauce being handed out. So did you grease any wheels? How does that go? I mean, are you in when you go to these things, I know we've talked about this before, how you're actually annoyed by the people who kind of get into character, but do you get into character and then just regret, stare in the mirror and just, I don't know, yell at yourself for being such a fucking twat for money?
I mean, yeah, sometimes it happens, man. Sometimes you have to degrade yourself for the almighty dollar. But no, I mean, it's really not too bad. It's kind of casual. It's less it's less grimy, I think, than you think, or at least maybe we all think it is. But yeah, like it's just kind of like it's nice because it's Maryland, right? And it's Baltimore, and it's like it's everybody kind of knows everybody. Everybody sees everybody. Like everybody knows these contractors. Like so, it's all kind of like a room of like acquaintances and friends. So it's kind of nice. I feel like if you did this shit in like Florida or like California, it would be fucking overwhelming and be like, shit, Jesus Christ, I don't know half of you, motherfucker. But here, I know people, and so it's kind of nice. Like you kind of move around. But yeah, to answer your question, sometimes you got to get in there, man. You gotta do some song and dance. You gotta fucking buy some drinks. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, what do you got? What are you doing over there? Was it beer and wine here? Well, we got an open tab right here, my friend. You go ahead and enjoy yourself.
So it isn't a table with like some freebies that you're handing out, pens and
no. So like I was not at the I was not conferencing this time, which is nice. I'm conferencing this coming week, which there will be a table and there will be tchotchkes. So yeah, there'll be a little bit of that. But this one was a lot more just, a little bit of golf, and some shaking hands and some kissing babies. Yeah, it was really just, it was like, it was networking on steroids. It's been, I do good work, but it was like golf, then secrets, then fagers, then fucking secrets again. And it's like, oh, Jesus Christ, man. There's an after party and an after party. It's like, gee, oh, man.
I am in the wrong line of work, I swear.
It was good. It was good, clean fun. I did very little work, and I was swamped for the week that I've been back.
Swamped. What's your go-to tchotchke item? Like, what's the one? What's the best table seller? I'll tell you in my opinion, those little back of the phone stick-on things where you put the credit cards and stuff in. I got one of those, and I must have advertised for like some car dealership.
One of those like pop-out dealies.
That's not bad.
Nah, yeah.
But like being able to stick
your
license and your credit card in the back of the phone, you're not gonna forget your phone. I don't know why they haven't just come up with like a legit like phone/wallet kind of thing. I'm sure they have, but
they do. It's Apple Pay.
It's the folding ones. You know what I mean? It's true. He's got a point, but it's the folding ones, and they look stupid. If they would just put them on the back like that, I think I'd be more inclined to buy a case like that. The folding thing is a little whack. But no, you're right. So I get those. Those get me. I advertised for some engineer for like 3 years because they had one of those. But I would say, so I guess it depends, because like it depends on your audience, right? So like if you're going to a place like we're going this coming week, and so it's like it's hospital execs, but it's also their facilities guys. So it's like it's this weird thing where like you've got a couple like nice things, like, and like executives like goofy stuff like notebooks and like fucking, you know what I mean, and like Yetis and cups, things that go on desks. But my personal favorite is like, and the ones that gets the facilities guys all jacked up, is to get some nice like multi-tools, or get like, you know what I mean? Get some nice like some sort of like wrench, screwdriver, belt loop type object, and they're like, "Yep, you know what? This shit's nice." They put a fucking flashlight on that bad boy. Whoo, you are the talk of the conference, my friend. So that's the kind of shit that I like. I like finding the thing that the audience gets after, and you're like, it's pens. Apparently, the crowd likes pens. It's always something different. Oh, and if you stick candy out, they will come.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's just the law of nature.
Doesn't even have to have your brand on it. Could be anything.
Nope. Yeah, we have branded candy, but I like to throw some like real candy in there too.
Gotcha. Would you guys get the fucking like chalk hearts with your fucking logo on them or something?
No, they're actually just like assorted fruit flavored hard candies, which is very like old lady. Like I feel like they should just come in a clear like plastic wrapper, but they come in like a blue one with our company name on them. And so you don't even know what you're gonna get. You can open it up, it's gonna be fucking like pineapple, and be like, bleh, get that out of here.
I have a coconut allergy. I don't know what to tell you, buddy. Try
You
it.
have
Lick
to, you
it.
have to crack that bad boy open, man.
Give it a lick. See what's
They're all yellowish white, so I don't even know what flavor it is.
I'm thinking about this multi-tool thing that you're talking about, and someone just getting real jazzed up at a freebie. Like, I didn't even have to sign up for a fake bank account to get this. You gave me this.
I've had multiple guys like bring their buddy back. Like they're like, oh, when they open it, because I always I set a sample one out, right? They're in a box, so they don't want to open the box up. So sample one out, and they like, this guy a Phillips head flathead. Oh, it's fucking crazy. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this got a fucking hex key. Okay. And they get crazy, and then they'll bring their buddy by. They're like, oh fuck, Jeff, you gotta come look at this. You gotta get yourself one of these. And I was like, yeah, get yourself one of those. Where are you from? Oh, so Hospital System X. Oh, that's great. What do you do there? Oh, phenomenal. And then it's on and off. We're off and running. We're best friends. We're golfing tomorrow.
You guys leave a lot of oily rags lying around because I'm your guy.
This is basically it, man.
I just remember going to I'd have to do like these remote broadcasts at car dealerships all the time, and we take, Lance Armstrong, of course. Like once he came out with that little fucking rubber wristband thing, it was wristband central. We had a wristband for like every color of every station that we had, and you would just have these people, and I feel like we could have really wrangled a lot of mental illness, and we probably should have had a therapist at a lot of these events, because people would just come off the highway to stop and find the tchotchke items they wanted to take with them.
Dude.
And I could tell the shoppers, the ones who were like, oh, what do I need to do for this one? I'm like, you know what you need to do? I need to give you one of each, and you need to be on your merry way.
Yeah, dude, I call the shoppers too. And I'm just like, bro, what do you know, these are just free things that we give you just because we're nice. You could take them. You don't have to be weird about it. I don't even care. I did not purchase them. You could take all of them if you want.
You don't have to pretend.
Kids? Stocking stuffer.
Right?
Yeah.
You don't have to pretend that you listen or even care about me. Just get on the way.
Yeah. Like I had a guy come back. Like we had nice water bottles. I wasn't giving them out to everybody, but like slightly more important person. And he comes back like the last day, and he's like, "Hey man, got any more of those water bottles?" And I was like, "Yeah, why? What's up, man?" He's like, "I just want to get one for my wife. I think she'd like it." I'm like, "Yeah, here you go, big guy. Get on out of here."
Tell me if you make sweet passionate whoopee when you give it to her.
I hope this seals the deal
for
for you. Yeah, I hope this seals the deal tonight. You're good to go.
There was what are I forget the name of them. They're the multi-tool kind of when you unfold them. It's pliers, but
It's pliers. Yeah, that's the kind that I have it around here. So I used to play with it while we talked here. Like
Starts with an L. Leatherman.
the Leathermans. Yeah.
Well, that's a brand. But
Yeah,
I
it
know what you
is.
said. Yes, and that actually reminds me one of my first days at this company called PSAV, where you set up either small or extravagant AV setups at a hotel here at the Hilton in Baltimore, and they had sent kind of like a high end lighting guy to kind of show us the ropes. This is how you set up the scaffolding, and this is how you set lighting up. He's like, listen, I'm going to tell you something. Invest a little bit of money and get yourself one of those for your belt or keep it in your pocket. They come in handy. The company won't give them to you. It's worth its weight in gold. And one of the guys who I was hired with had one, and he was like, "Oh, like this?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, exactly like that." He's like, "Oh, what do you have?" It's like, it's a Leatherman." He goes, "Oh, that piece of garbage. You need to get yourself a Gerber." And this kid, this guy Brian was 21 at the time. He's like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And he's like, looks at me. He's like, "That is garbage. Get rid of that. Get yourself a Gerber."
Well, I will say Gerber makes some pretty quality products. That's
yeah, they
very
do,
true.
yeah.
But the
Understood.
Leatherman the Leatherman they were the originator of that specific multi-tool, which is why it got coined the Letterman.
Leatherman, yeah.
Because it's like there's other tissues out there, but you can't beat a Kleenex, man. Get the fuck out of here. There's other tissue. I mean, Charmin, sometimes you need a little less ply. I don't need to wipe my ass with a washcloth. You know, sometimes
true.
you don't need 12 fucking layers of toilet tissue in one square. Yeah, I get it. but there's other brands.
I think in my former coworker's case, it didn't matter what the brand was. I was just pointing out that, hey, you said we should have one. Day one, I have one, and immediately like, oh, young man, that's a piece of shit. Throw that out.
Garbage.
Throw that out. God,
Melt it down.
that's right. Well, Murr, I think we have a fantastic friend or foe tonight. I mean, you were a little apprehensive. Alan greenlighted us, and folks, you're going to understand why. I'm anxious for this one. Murr, take it away.
Let's do it. Friend or foe? I'm going to read a news story to you. See if you agree or disagree. Friend or foe? And guess what? Me and Wes have a new problem to contend with in our white lives. It's called digital blackface. Maybe you shared that viral video of Kimberly Sweet Brown Wilkins telling a reporter after narrowly escaping an apartment fire, "Ain't nobody got time for that." Well, if you're black and you've shared such images online, you get a pass. But if you're white, well, guess what? You may have inadvertently perpetuated one of the most insidious forms of contemporary racism. You may be wearing digital blackface, face.
That's a pretty good echo.
Digital blackface is a practice where white people co-opt online expressions of black imagery, slang, catchphrases, or culture to convey comic relief or express emotions. These expressions, what one commentator calls racialized reactions, are mainstays in Twitter feeds, TikTok videos, and Instagram reels, and are among the most popular internet memes. I'm going to skip around here because I want to see what this lady, her name is Lauren Michelle Jackson. She's the author of Critical Culture, an essay for Teen Vogue. Jackson says the internet thrives on white people laughing at exaggerated displays of blackness, reflecting a tendency among some people to see black people as walking hyperbole. So, friend or foe, are white people not allowed to share images of black people representing the exact emotion they wish to convey, or foe? No. If it fits, you click it, you ship it. We're done here. I'm going to start this one. Kiss my white dick, okay? Not a lot of kissing going on, but it's there for you to, in fact, put your mouth on and pucker up. My problem with this,
Yeah.
There are some instances where I will get on and I like to send GIFs that match my exact emotional status or reaction to whatever I've seen. Look, black people tend to emote better than white people. Who are our goofy white people? Will Ferrell, John C. Reilly, maybe sometimes a Zach Galifianakis, a Steve Carell every now and again, the Jim Carrey. Those wells have run dry for years. Black people are funny just like white people, sometimes even more so. Therefore, if I want a funny reaction, I might tend to dip my toes into those dark waters. And it has nothing to do with me being a racist. It has everything to do with me being an equal opportunity humorist. Wes?
Yeah, I obviously my mind wants to foe this. My heart wants to friend it because I feel like I'd be targeted. And there was a great line on this, and it echoes what you said, Murr, about sometimes black people just tell a story better because they're more emotional. Where in this case, they use the ain't nobody got time for that woman who said, "Oh Lord, there was a fire." And like white person, like, yeah, there was a fire in my apartment, and we got out of there. Like what good's that? That's just a news story. That's not a GIF. There's a fire, and we got out of there. Saved my life.
Yeah, what she said? "Oh Lord Jesus, there's a fire." Yeah. Ain't nobody got time for that. I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, there was a fire. No, I don't have time for that. I'm very bronchial. I'm
taking my prednisone got caught inside actually, and so I'm gonna have to go back to the my doctor, my primary physician.
I don't even have health insurance. It's a travesty. It's a travesty.
Just kidding. I'm white. I have all the health insurance.
But I don't know. First of all, I'm foeing it, but now I shouldn't have read this. Now I'm worried. Now I feel like I'm going to be targeted when all it was just a casual GIF. Haha, that's funny. And no, listen here, Mr. Fox. This new phenomenon known as digital blackfacing, and you, sir, aren't being conscientious of something that's very problematic in society these days. Like, I beg your pardon? Yes, you need to vet the GIFs that you're sending out. Ugh.
Well, they go on to say that it is a modern day repackaging of minstrel shows. I mean, they're really putting the shovel deep into the dirt on this one. And they basically say that white people are basically entertained by black characters, especially when they're bumbling, happy-go-lucky simpletons. I'm sorry, have you not seen a Denzel Washington movie ever? Have you not seen a Samuel L. Jackson? I mean, a picture of any kind. He's done the entire range of portrayals of human beings. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. I mean, and by the way, black folks have owned comedy for like the last 10 years, probably. Your Kevin Hart's, your other guys, your Tyler Perry's and people like that. Key and Peele, all these guys, like they have been main staples. And honestly, I know this is going to blow some minds here, but like white people base most of their entertainment watching on merit. Otherwise, a minority.
That's probably not true, but yeah, you were doing well, but that's probably bullshit.
I say that just same way I say like rap never would have gotten big if white people didn't decide they liked it, because
that's fair, but
if you've got a minority population and white people are like, I'm so racist, I won't allow myself to laugh at this, then there would be no black comedians.
Yeah, I get you.
So, I mean, I don't think we do it because it's like, I don't know. Anyway, Alan, as our man of color.
I agree with it's whatever the foe is, I guess. Like, this is just silly. This is a little bit too much. I was looking at the author because I was like, I assume this is a white woman. He's actually a black guy, and he's from Baltimore. So it's a little bit more embarrassing.
John Blake.
Yeah. He's a senior writer. He's fucking pretty bad at it, honestly. But
get him on.
This seems like a little much. Like, I guess, like you guys kind of said, like, no offense, we're more fucking colorful than you. We're more interesting than you guys. That's why you guys fucking mimic a lot of what we do in popular culture. Like, I get the logic of what he's saying, but like, I think it's a little much. Like, that's a stretch.
Okay,
like,
well, here, explain the
logic. Because at that point, you're really, like, I mean, I get what he's saying. Like, to express, because there's a line in here that he's like, if you find yourself reaching for like always, it's always an African American of some sort that you're reaching for to express some sort of like outward emotion. Like you are, I guess, using that caricature to portray your emotion. So I get, like, it's a reach. I agree with you, but like, I get his logic where he's coming from. Is like, dude, you can't find a way to express the emotion your way, not necessarily through the lens of a culture that you're not a part of. I get that, but like, also, I think it's fucking bullshit because, again, we're just cooler than you. So like, yeah, please go ahead, use me. Like, that's fucking fine. But then again, I'm one of those. I've white faced before because it was funny to me. So
sure.
I don't. I definitely lean comedy before fucking whatever else, and I just think that shit's funny. I use a lot of white people GIFs now that I think about it, because I don't express myself that way. So how am I supposed to express like, if I'm very excited, it's fucking what's his face from Superbad, but not from Superbad. It's from like Get Him to the Greek, and he's fucking clapping real fast, and I'm like, that's Jonah a white Hill. Guy. Yeah, Jonah Hill. That's that guy. That fucking guy's name. Yeah,
that's a good one. That's just a good one.
Okay, so
you see what I'm saying?
On the same
so
boat,
maybe I'm fucking virtual white facing.
No,
like,
you're not.
Maybe
It's just that really stupid, like, slow, fast clap is.
Hey, in the same breath, if I'm to use Carlton doing the Carlton dance when I'm excited, like, I mean,
and that to me is essentially a white guy.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know what I mean? So that can't be fucking digital blackface, says the non-black person.
Well, let me. Okay, so if something big happens, right, and I want to visually emote, damn.
Yeah.
Who am I
like
picking?
it. You should
Friday.
pick.
Fucking
Yeah,
Chris
you should
Tucker
pick-
and Ice Cube.
100%. Damn. That exactly.
That's after Red. Red was like, oh, it's so bad.
I can't think of a white person expressing themselves in a manner that accurately depicts. Damn.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
No. That's why, like I said, I disagree with this guy. Like,
Damn.
I get the argument he's trying to make, and like the argument. Fucking so the fucking argumentative side of me is like, oh, I could fucking take that and run with it. Like I should have been a lawyer, but yeah, like it's dumb. It's just dumb. It's popular culture and how like, and it's also kind of like, to me, it's like language now. It's how we communicate, like GIFs and fucking memes and like even fucking reels or like small shorts. Like that's how we communicate now. So I don't really. I think he's an idiot.
Well,
And real quick, you could use Ron Simmons too. Damn.
but that's a different type of damn. That's like
Yeah.
a guy just like he was trying to do some parkour across from the bank and then fell and like busted his nuts on one of those barriers that stops people from running into the building. Yeah, that's a damn. Yeah. I could also do a damn. You know, you could throw Chris Tucker in there too. But I did send this to a black friend at work. And his response was, I refuse to even read the entire article. This co-opting bullshit of the world is so fucking tiring, especially as a black person. He wrote more, but I'll save the rest. Yeah, look, I mean, he also kind of said to me today, like, he's like, you know, when I wonder why white people love Trump so much, like, I see articles like this, and I kind of get it. I don't get it, but I see their point. It's just like, we're just glomming on to shit for. I feel like the problem is we can't solve this whole racial problem in America because we keep finding new layers. We keep peeling back a layer that wasn't there before. Like, you ever think about this? No one's ever thought about this. You made this up like you were trying to write a term paper at the last fucking minute.
Yeah, this one's like, look, there are plenty of valid, deep-rooted racial structures in today's society that don't involve me sending fucking a GIF of fucking the guy from The Wire saying "shit." You know what I mean? Like, that's ridiculous. And I can't say it that good, so that's why I let the old black man say it via GIF or GIF, whatever the fuck the word is.
Just good. Remember that? Who's that? I asked, who was that? Like, you guys know who it is, but that bozo trying to wrangle an alligator and then gets bit in the leg.
Oh, I don't know.
You haven't seen this?
Is this recent?
Within the last year, it's the videographer, if you want to call the person that, is driving by in their car and stops, and it's an overpass, and yeah, there's a relatively decent sized gator, and this regular white pedestrian, shirtless, probably high on something in Florida, is doing his like best Steve Irwin. And this fucker grabs a hold of his calf and shakes around a little bit.
Nice.
Again, it's white people shit. A drugged up white person was like, yeah, I can wrangle him and throw him over the bridge.
Florida man.
Yeah. Wait, have you seen this? You haven't seen this.
I mean,
No, I've seen something like it, I'm sure.
Well, and I've made this point before. It's just that the internet has filled my brain with so many things that I couldn't even have conceived of 20 years ago. That it could, like, what would have been what you're getting ready to show us 25 years ago may have been the greatest caught on camera footage of all time. But now it's just a half second like glimpse on like Twitter or TikTok, just like yep, yep. Oh, guy's leg, blip. Yep. Hey, look at that. Some guy just skydiving and his parachute didn't open. Beep. Oh, shot in the face. Beep.
I follow a couple good pages where it's just fucking like horrific accidents.
Yeah, there's one on
pretty great.
There's one on X called like restricted videos or something. And
Nice.
It's
All right, you guys ready?
yeah, I'm ready.
I mean, yeah, man.
Yeah. So,
Oh, no,
yeah,
I
this
don't-
guy's
no,
so
no.
fucked.
I have not seen this.
oh my God! All right, wow.
He's got like red and one fucking shorts on. Yeah, he's
Look at that!
finished.
Ooh, he's got the technique and everything.
He has no technique. What are
he
you
has
talking about?
zero technique. Look at how close he is.
He's
He's
just
in a
limber.
crouched position. You ever see Steve Irwin crouch like that? Absolutely not.
It's a different technique. Right?
Dude, this guy is straight up mimicking what he
Finished.
thinks gator wranglers do.
Correct.
It's like what you do to like cobras.
Got him! Bail!
Good. Oh man, he's shaking the shit out of him.
Yeah, he ain't getting off.
That's a kneecap gone.
Yeah, dude, that wasn't even like a calf. That was, you might need to lop that off now, like just
Well,
from the
listen.
knee down.
What he learned in wrangling school, he learns how to get him off. I guarantee you. He knows the technique to pry the gator's jaws open.
Listen,
Gotta look him in the
I've
eyes.
seen enough Steve Irwin to know he was not in good form.
No.
I know,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I would have done better. I'm just saying that, nope, that ain't it.
Yeah, he gave him his knees. Like everything else from the waist up, I feel like he was pretty on to something, but from the waist
Yeah.
down, he's just giving that thing lunch.
He literally was like, you want to know the fucking most precarious position I could put myself in right now? I'm going to do it. Here, check it out. And then just fucking crouched right in front
My
of him.
left leg.
Yeah,
was
here's
so close,
here's either knee. Just fucking have at it. Yeah, it's
And again, my
idiot.
point was, I laugh at that because it's a fucking hillbilly white guy.
Yeah.
Idiot. White people.
Yeah, I mean, I share stuff like that. And I like you said, I'm like, fucking white people, dummies.
Yeah, speaking of which, like, I'm trying to think if like you're like, go ahead, Murr.
I was just gonna say, and that is your friend or foe. The foes have it. Continue to send your gifts, your gifs, your whatever you want. Just don't send actual Amos and Andy. Okay?
Yeah,
How about that?
yeah. That's fair.
Sure, we can draw a line in the sand, and
Yes.
it doesn't involve what was it? Some Blake, John Blake, whatever he the author of this article had to offer. You know, right? You obviously. In the vetting process, you can understand that, yeah, if I send that, that might be slightly racist. Don't send that. But, you know, if it's Chris Rock fucking planting around and I'm going to get you, sucker, hell yeah. How much for one rib?
That's exactly the one I was going for. I was one rib. Can you just pour some soda in my hand? Yeah. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
All right. Murr, enlighten us. Brighten us. Make our IQs go up a percentage point. Whatever you got.
Let's get to it. 5 fun facts for you fuckers on a Friday. Time for your OMG facts. Brought to you by our good friend, the Cuckster. You can find the Cuckster over on Instagram. Cuckster for life. What is the Cuckster up to these days, Wes?
The Cuckster just wrapped up his North American tour at Ocean City, Maryland. They've made a pit stop at Secrets and Dumpsters. I'm sure you can imagine what's
I already
to come
picked
with-
up some nice tchotchke items from a couple vendors over there.
That's right. And then next, Cuckster's got a few philosophical points coming up. He was asked about the Hawk 2 girl and asked if he ever found Jesus. More to come.
More to come. Let's get to it. It's your Fun Fact Friday. Did you know French fries were actually invented in Belgium?
I mean, that's most. I mean, they speak
They
French.
speak
in
French
Belgium.
for the most
Yeah.
part. So
You think they're going to Belgium fries? That doesn't go off the. Come on,
You're right.
yeah.
You're right.
Belgium
does it-
bunches.
they already had waffles, man. They can't
I know, like all of these staple like culinary delights seem to be of Belgian origin. I don't get it.
They do good work over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
cut
Maybe they
up
just
potatoes
were like,
and
you know
deep
what?
fry
We
'em.
should dip everything in hot oil. And we're
that's
giving them a lot more credit than they deserve. They were
That's a
just
fair
like,
point.
hey, check this out.
I remember when the U.S. played Belgium in the World Cup. We actually timed it out and called a bar in Belgium just to heckle them about how we were going to beat them. They were not
Amazing.
they were not concerned. I think my main point was like, "Fuck you and your waffles," and the guy was like, "Da," and then hung up on me.
I don't think that's French.
If it wasn't for the brick foot of Chris Wondolowski, we could have moved on in the hands of Tim Howard. Boy, would that guy fucking make 16 saves that game. Actually, I do remember. What's up? What's up?
Good. I was gonna say, there's always that guy on the team that's just useless and doesn't fucks it for everyone.
I was when we were down 1-0. I was watching that at a bar in Federal Hill, and some guy was talking about Kevin De Bruyne. This guy obviously didn't know who he was, but he screams out, "God damn it, Buzz from Home Alone is fucking killing us!"
I mean, yep. The guy's amazing.
Did you know the right hand is mentioned positively 100 times in the Bible, while the left hand is mentioned only 25 times, all negatively?
That's just bad history. You're gonna have to rewrite that. King James is going to have to send out a second version.
I feel like it was written that way on purpose already.
Yeah, well, no baseball back in them times, so there was that. Everything, there's all that right-handed bullshit. Yeah, I can't. There was some pretty severe consequences for people who were showing off their left-handedness in public back in the day.
When I was working at the University of Maryland, when I was doing videography for surgeries, a new, I don't know, he wasn't new to the university, but he was new to the department, a surgeon, Indian guy, who joked around. He was like, "Oh, well, I'm left-handed," but yeah, they didn't allow that in the school I went to, and they're like, "Oh, what, really?" I was like, "Oh yeah." Anytime I tried to write, I got a ruler right across the top of the hand. Pow! You write with your right hand, buddy.
Wow. Now, but as a surgeon, though, I'm just wondering, because we always mock, oh, there's left-handed scissors. Is all the equipment made for right-handed individuals? And then, if you did have to, try to pull off some crazy maneuvers, inside the human body, you may not be as adept?
This particular type of surgery, the tools are made for both. It depends upon what hand you put them in. The only thing and again, this is more than 10 years ago, the only thing I heard that might be problematic was the sewing, but that also depended upon where they were sewing on the patient's organ and how they were laying and things like that. But I can only hope that they figured it out.
Yeah. Well, no, but I mean, you think about it too. Imagine how many lefties were taken out of the gene pool, which is why we still have so many right-handed people. There was probably 400 or 500 years of just yep, you throw it lefty, you know what to do. Use your right hand and throw rocks at him.
Yep.
Yeah. Like cricket, much. Especially from those countries. I mean, what do they call it? It's a bowler, right? That's the. It's not a pitcher.
Yeah, it's a bowler.
Yeah.
Yeah. They all roll up fucking right-handed. Boom.
Yeah, well, cricket does seem like a fun game now that I understand the rules.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it's going to be in the next Olympics, by the way.
Good, because we're good at it now.
Because we have a bunch of Indian and Pakistani transplants.
A couple, but we also have some rather burly American dudes that maybe can't hit a fastball or a curveball, but they can fucking wallop a fucking cricket ball for 1,000 miles with a flat bat.
So I always think of, do you remember King Ralph?
Yeah.
The John Goodman movie? They're trying to teach him cricket, and he fucking hits one through a window and does a victory trot. Yeah. Oh my God. Jesus.
Did you know the longest Monopoly game in history lasted 70 straight days?
I gotta tell you, I don't think I have ever played a game of Monopoly that didn't end with just okay, you won, not straight up. Everyone is bankrupt, or what do you, up to 4 people, right? And then one person's like, all right, I have all the money. 70 straight days. God damn.
Yeah,
what was
me
that
and my
one?
brother
I was reading something.
Monopoly game, the longest Monopoly game ever was 70 straight days.
Jesus, sounds awful.
I did one for 4. Me and my brother did one over 4 days on on a vacation to see our grandparents in South Carolina. So that was the highlight of our trip there. But no, what ended up happening is like we ended up eliminating our parents, and there was just the two of us, and we made deals to get the other deeds. And so like we each had some heavy hitters. Like I had all the red ones. He had like Marvin Gardens, all the yellow ones, and then so we were just exchanging money for like 2 days until I think I finally like landed on Boardwalk and just busted it with like, we built infinite hotels, so you owe me $75,000.
Nah, we got I haven't played Monopoly since I played with my wife before she was my wife, I think. Yeah, it was definitely before we were married. And she slumlorded us because a couple of people, I think I've told this story, like a couple of people were building houses but weren't trading houses in for hotels. So she too like couldn't build the maximum of houses. So we were at a stalemate where basically she owned all of the bottom fucking
The first
all
road.
of the bottom row. Yeah, so like Oriental, all that fucking garbage shit. You know what I mean? And literally nickel and dimed us all for like an hour until all of us were like, "Fuck this, we're not playing anymore." Like because she had like one house, so it was like worth like 50 fucking bucks. But we make 200 every time we pass go. So I'm not going broke now. But it's gonna. She was bleeding us dry. It would have taken more than 70 days. It would have taken fucking 8 years. Like it was terrible, but also genius.
Funny, I was on Oriental Avenue there. That's what
It's just Baltic. I mean, same, I guess.
There you go.
The
Did
purples.
you know? The purples and the browns, man, they'll get you.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't even.
And I wonder if there's like a Wikipedia.
Who are the
like,
purples?
the slumlord technique. Click.
There probably is.
There's no technique though. It's like you land on a property. The strategy is buy it, trade it later if you have to, pray you get all three, and then just wreck them. Like that's fucking Monopoly.
You gotta love a good Reddit. I was like Monopoly slumlord technique, and it says when you play Monopoly, what is your favorite strategy? And the first answer says become a slumlord and put hotels on them brown bitches. Hilarious.
Did you know Coke makes so many different beverages? If you drank one per day, it would take you over 9 years to try them all.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Wait,
Each
what?
country has a different like Coke product that's unique to them. At least some of them have a whole fleet of them. I've been to the World of Coke. It's in Atlanta, Georgia, and they have a room, and it's just fountains through just in a U through the entire room, spit buckets, everything. I mean, like some of the stuff out of Spain is a very wine flavor, like bitter, not very sweet. But then you think about like the Sprites and things that we have, but they have like I don't know. You get to like Australia and it's kind of like a, almost like an IPA flavored carbonated non-alcoholic beverage. It's like what is
yummy.
this? It's bizarre.
It's a shade under 3,300 if you want to do math.
Wow.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Call your dentist too if you plan on doing that. If you plan on every Coke product there is, or diabetes, whatever comes first.
One a day, you'd be all right. Fine.
Coke a day keeps the. I don't know.
And finally, did you know it would take 7 billion particles of fog to fill a teaspoon?
7 billion. That's a little more than I would have thought of.
But what's a particle of fog? Is it like dust trapped in water? Like what is?
It's like water trapped in water. Because that's all fog. Well, fog's just a cloud hanging low, which is all just fucking water.
Yeah, but I thought
water,
the cloud
it's
was
water
made of like.
vapor.
I thought the cloud was like the dust was like, I don't know, like the thing. Like I don't know if I'm using emulsifier or something that like brings it all together.
I mean, I didn't think so. I thought clouds were literally just water in vapor form in the air.
Yeah, but I think they're trapped by something. Either way, like there's something to coalesce around something like a particle of
What
dirt.
are clouds made of?
Oh God.
Fog.
Water droplets. Water droplets or ice crystals suspended in the atmosphere.
Well,
Yeah, it's just condensed water. That's all it is.
So Kansas was actually onto something with dust in the wind. This wasn't just
yes.
some bullshit, 7 billion particles make up a teaspoon. Blue, you're my boy Blue.
That is your Fun Fact Friday, but I did omit this fun fact, even though it's fascinating. I only omitted it because about 5 years ago I hit it, and I would like to do this little blast from the past. And it's in 1919. An exploding storage tank flooded the streets of Boston with a wave of molasses 15 feet high. Probably one of our best old school bits.
Nice.
The great molasses disaster in Boston. The great molasses flood.
This week in Classholes History. Actually, I'll snip that out and add that onto this puppy just for your listening pleasure. I think I try to remember. I think I said how the hell could how could they have gotten caught into it? Just walk. a molasses pile just coming towards you at a crazy rate of speed of inches per minute.
I think we learned that it was a lot faster than that, and it was just that they were keeping it in a water tower, a rickety, unregulated, time before OSHA water tower that they said they heard creaking for days, and continued to pump molasses into it because I think they were making like brandy or something like that. Like a really sweet liquor, and that's where they stored it. And it got so hot in the sun that the rivets started popping.
And then people literally melted. Can you imagine? Okay, say you weren't one of the casualties, but you were one of the injured folk. All right, and your foot got engulfed in this, and you lifted from your ankle down. You were Skeletor.
Oh, what? Like it melted like the skin off your body?
I suppose. I mean, I
don't know if it was that hot. I mean,
was it like boiling molasses?
Yeah, I don't think it was that hot. I mean, but I mean, I'm sure molasses gets rather toasty in the sun, but yeah, okay. I mean, it was
well, perhaps my boner idea of this, of someone's foot looking like Skeletor, could null and void. Fair enough. What if people were starting to steal it? Did you ever give that a thought? Be like, yeah, free molasses. Let me bucket this up. Take it upstairs.
Sure. I'm trying to save them. Trying to bail them out.
That's right.
And that, my friends, is your Fun Fact Friday.
Tonight, folks, on Before You Go, this is actually the Middle Class Holes Badass of the Month. A Florida State student vowed that he would eat dog shit out of a red Solo cup if they lose to Boston College this week. That's right. College football kicks off. Well, I think some college teams have played, but for the most part, kick off this Saturday. And Florida State is 15.5 to 16-point favorites to Boston College this coming Monday. And I got to tell you, I'm rooting for Boston College because I would like to see to see poop being eaten. Yeah. Someone had to do it when they thought they were waiting for if the Browns chose Baker Mayfield number one. Someone from a Cleveland sports talk show said they would eat horse shit, and they made him do it, and he did it. Oh, yeah.
Oh. See, this is why you don't say crazy things like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why would you even I mean, and I feel like the people around you have a responsibility to not let you do it. I mean, what kind of dog are we talking about here, too? I mean, are we getting like a Chihuahua? Are we going?
That was actually a point of emphasis at work today when I brought this up. They were it's just, and someone said it doesn't matter. Well, one, it doesn't matter what type of dog it is because you're still eating shit, and two, then someone said it has to be filled up to a certain point. So it could be one fucking Great Dane log, or it could be 1,000 Chihuahua shits.
Or, like, what's the question? Like, it's not like a human. Like, you haven't conferred with this organism. Be like, hey man, you've been eating your fiber today. You got solid one coming out. So like, what if it's just juicy? What if it's just you got to drink it's in a cup. So I mean, you chose the vehicle. You know what I mean? Like,
Who's collecting it too?
The bird just died a little bit. So I'm just saying, like, what are the stipulations here? We have hot,
Okay,
hot diarrhea comes out. Are you mandated, or do you
I
wait
think-
for a log? You know what I
I
mean?
I think you should be allowed to walk the campus until you find just what you're looking for. I feel like you should be allowed to at least pick your own turd. Everybody should be like, yeah, white chalky.
No, I was saying white men can't jump style. Like, now I get to pick my teammate.
Right.
him.
I think that's perfectly fair. You know, maybe a turd that's kind of like cracked in half. Like that's my piece. I'm eating that. I'll eat that. Because honestly, I'll give full credit. Bet paid. You know, debt's paid. If you put any turd in your mouth and chew and swallow, any amount, I don't care. It could be Tootsie Roll sized. You did it. You win. You're done. Well done, sir. You're a man of your word.
Yeah, I would feel that way if it was amongst buddies, but in this case, at 321 Noel on Twitter, when you blast that out to the public, I don't think little Tootsie Roll turds are going to do it. You better you've made your bed, now eat it.
Yeah, on TikTok, goddamn, live on TikTok.
That's
I'll
right.
tell you what, I'd be rolling up fucking little molasses turds in my kitchen and planting them around campus.
This is it.
Yeah,
Ooh, terrible, bitter.
Yeah, I tried to put it out on our social media platforms to see if anyone that had like a good like if this happens, this is what I'm doing. Didn't get anything. I don't know if I think I said once if there was murmurings around like 05, 06 that the Orioles were going to sign Bonds, and I said if they do that, I'll run on the field nude.
Would you have done it?
Yeah, I mean, I said I would do it. I guess I would do it. And I don't know. I guess I'd get a lifetime ban, probably, right?
Yeah, but that might have been a time where, like, okay, I do agree now, a lifetime ban, you're probably not, there's probably facial recognition software running it. But, like, 30 years ago, you probably couldn't show up for a season or two. Maybe wait for an usher to die. And then you're like, I'm getting back in. Rick's gone.
Or tell them I'll eat turds to get back in. Listen, I think I can get my way back into the gate. Look. And that, folks, is your middle class holes badass of the month at 3-2-1. No, so Monday night, this is going down. Florida State is a heavy favorite. I actually looked at it 16.5. Murr, I know you're probably eyeballing that. The over under is 50. Yeah. Anywho, we're gonna get to our listener comments next week. Right now, we're gonna do the best way we contribute best way we contribute to the passing of Sid Udi, Psycho Sid, aka Sid Vicious, longtime wrestler, multi-time world champion in WCW and WWF. This was a big one. I was kind of hurt my heart a little bit.
I hate it because, like, Sid, I don't know why he never got his due. Like, I know he ended up world champion and everything, but he never felt like, it felt like anybody else who became world champion was like the face of the industry. And maybe it was just a testament to how good a bad guy he was, that, like, it always seemed like he was not supposed to be the champion ever. But he had, if you asked a little kid and you put a lineup of all the wrestlers, who's a professional wrestler? Sid Vicious looked exactly like the fucking action figure that should be stamped in plastic. That's what he looked like. He was a professional wrestler.
Yeah, there's two good sound bites. You can look these up. One, he's being interviewed by Jim Ross, and about 30 seconds into his clip, he's like, let's do it again. Jim Ross goes, no, we're live, buddy. He's like, oh, okay. Gets back to it. And then in WCW later on, he's yelling at Kevin Nash, who's impersonating him in just a terrible Mission Impossible face, who was mocking him in the ring. He says, you are half the man I am, and I have half the brain that you do. Totally unscripted. They all start laughing. Yeah. Alan, I know it's a little bit before your time.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little, like you said, it was a little before me. I mean, I remember the stories and then watching like old videos that my brothers had and shit. I do, yeah. I think that was always kind of in the wrestling circles. I think Merv brought it up is like he does almost fly under the radar. Like you kind of like not forget about him, but you're all like, man, he never really got like this big fan push, and he was a heel, so heel champions are always like hit or miss. So like. I guess that's probably the biggest part of it. But yeah, no matter what, impactful to WCW and WWF, like kind of that whole late 80s, early 90s, fucking mid 90s kind of meshing back and forth that WCW and WWF had. So like, yeah, I mean, yeah, can't much respect and obviously a massive name from the industry gone.
Do you guys know why he initially got kicked out of WCW?
Was it because he stabbed either Arn or Ole Anderson in the back with a pair of scissors?
So him and Arn got into a fight, yeah, and he stabbed Arn with scissors.
And I was gonna bring that up as like he was the last wrestler who made me think it was still real because of that incident. I'm like, well, shit. I mean, if he stabbed that guy outside the ring with scissors, then I mean they must really hate each other. That's real. This is totally real. They had to solve it in the fucking ring, like. Yeah, 100%. Like, I mean, and I think that's why they called him Psycho Sid when he went to WWF.
Yeah.
Because that's a psycho fucking thing to do. Stab your coworker with a pair of scissors.
That's right. That's right. And if anyone's listening to this, you could say, hey, the Middle Class Hole sent you here. It was more or less his career ender. He did wrestle a little bit after that, but he has one of the most fucking insane leg fractures ever.
It's not a fracture. Calling that a fracture is like
both his tibia and his fibula below his knee broke when he jumped off a fucking rope. Yeah.
I inadvertently saw that like yesterday, and I did not. I knew that Diamond Dallas Page did something very similar at one point. I didn't know Sid did that, and or maybe I'm just mixing up Sid and from the back they look the same. So greasy white guy Jerry curl.
Yeah.
Well, rest in peace, Sid Udi. You were impactful, and wherever you are, I hope you're power bombing people through fucking tables. We're gonna leave you with the Great Molasses Flood from 1913 on This Week in Classholes History. Join us next week on the Middle Class Holes. Good night, everybody.
Did you know in 1919? An exploding storage tank flooded the streets of Boston with a wave of molasses 15 feet high. You can look this up on Wikipedia. It's called the Great Molasses Massacre.
Jesus. Anyone die?
Yeah. I know you think molasses moves at a slow pace.
Well,
when you've got when you've got an entire water fucking tower filled with sticky, gooey delightfulness just come crashing down. Yeah, it's like Pompeii in fucking slow motion.
Yeah, I've heard of this.
You've heard of that?
Yeah, I've actually heard of this. Then it didn't sound pleasant.
Do you have like a great uncle that got burnt as a result, or it's like
no? Believe it or not, my family isn't from here. Wesley, the molasses flood in Boston, Massachusetts was not really a problem for my kin, but I've heard tell of such a thing in history.
Yeah, Alan, you're absolutely right. I'm looking at the Wikipedia page. 21 deaths, 150 injured, and no mention of anyone from the Giannis family within this Wikipedia page. Yeah.
We just missed. We had just hopped on a boat back to Nicaragua.
Right. I see. Breen, Brogan, Cloggerty, Callahan, Di Sacito, Duffy, Francis, Galadrina.
The Giannis clan sold their house to a couple of Irishmen. It just rolled on into town. We kind of knew.
Yeah,
we were warned of a molasses meltdown approaching.
Did it happen to be Peter Shaughnessy? He was a teamster. That was his occupation.
That was the guy. Yep,
that
was him. Pete Shaughnessy, old Gramps called him.
Yeah, funny. Well, he was an 18-year-old teamster, so it's
well, yeah. Life was rough back then, and you didn't live that long, especially when you can be killed by molasses in the streets.
It's the kind of bright-eyed kid you sell a fucking house to in Molasses Alley.
I like to show the discrepancy of this. Peter Shaughnessy, 18 Teamster, died in this, and then Michael Sinnott, 78 Messenger, also perished in the Great Molasses Flood.
Dude, check this out though. Okay, it was what 12,000 tons of molasses caused a wave 25 feet high, moving at 35 miles an hour.
Jesus, dude, there's no running. Get your surfboard.
So fast for something so thick.
Yeah,
It's so crazy.
Yeah, this also reminds. I see. This is on a consider your source thing, but it's like August 11th, 1903. The A's were visiting Boston. I'm assuming this is Philadelphia because the A's were in Philly then. Then playing at Old Huntington Avenue grounds at the plate in seventh inning. Rube Waddell, colorful southpaw pitcher for the A's, was known. Passing. Hold on. So a foul ball went over the right field bleachers and landed on the roof of a baked bean cannery next door. The ball came to rest in the steam whistle of the factory, which began to go off. As it was not quitting time, workers thought it was an emergency and abandoned their post. A short while later, a giant cauldron containing a ton of beans boiled over and exploded, showering the Boston ballpark with scalding beans. So, when was the molasses flood? 1919. I mean, it's 1903. So, within 18 years is a bean disaster and then a molasses disaster. Poor town.
And everybody knows. Yeah, everybody knows you don't get really tasty baked beans without a little molasses too. So
that's right.